justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY only $4.99. Plus DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hey, come help celebrate 70 years all this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Now, they've pulled out all the stops with never-before prices on everything for your lawn or garden. A new record-breaking price on crepe myrtles. Get 6 number 1 size crepe myrtles, your choice of lavender, white, fuchsia, salmon pink, or pink, for just $29.99. Yes, 6 for $29.99, and larger sizes are available. Get blueberries at an all-time low price of $9.99. Summer annuals $2.29, or mix and match a tray of 18 for just $35.99. Everywhere you look, there are BOGOs, all low prices, all buy one, get one free. Check the greenhouse for savings up to 20% or more on everything. A complete list of the savings at BobWinesCameliaGardens.net. They're on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. They're open till 4:30 weekdays, Saturdays till 3. Now keeping you in bloom for 70 years.
Want to help kids in our community and win $10,000? Find out more and get your ticket at arnetthouse.org. Drawing is May 31st. You do not have to be present to win.
QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics. 352-400-4550.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Wednesday, a somber Wednesday, but we do have other obligations we need to get into, and it is Stroke Awareness Month. May is an important time to learn about this life-altering experience. Strokes have long-term effects that can impact recovery and cause rippling effects lingering after the initial event, like spasticity. Spasticity is a condition where certain muscles in the arms and legs involuntarily contract or tense up, causing a significant impact on the person's ability to move freely. It affects upper and lower limbs. When spasticity is left untreated, symptoms can progress and worsen over time. This morning we have Dr. Zachary Bohart of the University Orthopedics and Tufts Medical Center, who specializes in physical medicine and rehabilitation and comprehensive spasticity management. Doctor, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Tom.
What is spasticity, and what are the common causes?
Well, you hit the nail on the head in the beginning. It's really a condition where the multiple muscles in the arms or the legs can really spasm out of control and involuntarily, and then after a while it can really impair, and this can happen quickly. It can impair someone's level of independence, can impair their functioning, can impair their ability to sleep comfortably or to sit in their wheelchair comfortably, their ability to walk, or even their ability to be cared for by their loved one. The most common cause is stroke in this country, but really any disease of the brain or the spinal cord, such as a brain injury or spinal cord injury or multiple sclerosis, can frequently cause it as well.
Now, a lot of people sometimes get this confused. When you're sleeping and all, and your legs are kicking erratically and all, that's not spasticity. That's something completely different. That's restless leg syndrome a lot of time. What are the symptoms people can look for, especially in post-stroke spasticity?
So either someone can look for the symptoms themselves, but unfortunately when someone has a stroke, it's very hard for them to advocate for themselves, or they may not be quite aware of their symptoms and of their deficits, and that's the nature of the brain injury from the stroke. So it's also important for their family members and caregivers and loved ones to look out for it as well. So what are some of the common symptoms? We've probably all seen a patient like this in the mall or walking down the street or in a movie theater, where the elbow can be flexed and bent. The wrist can also be bent as well, and the fingers can be clasped into a fist. And so it can be very difficult to even really pry the fingers open and to do something as simple as cleaning someone's hand. It can impair something like that. So once the muscles start becoming tight and difficult to range and difficult to perform caregiving, you really want to try to reach out an expert in this field for treatment.
How is this diagnosed?
So after a stroke, people generally go on to have occupational and physical therapy and really pretty comprehensive rehab, and it's frequently diagnosed by the occupational and the physical therapists. Sometimes it's diagnosed by the neurologist who's taking care of the patient, or a specialist in my field, which is called physical medicine and rehabilitation as well, or even the primary care doctor. But the key is you really have to be on the lookout for it, and get treatment sooner rather than later, because after a while it really becomes very complex with much lower success rates.
I'm sure it is important, but can you explain to us why it's so important to speak with a healthcare provider if you feel like you're experiencing these kind of post-stroke situations?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And the reason why is because joints, arms, legs, muscles need to be moved. And if they're not, after a while, they get stuck and contracted in that position. So imagine if your elbow is bent and your wrist is bent and your fingers are clasped shut. After a while, that becomes irreversible. And the only way to really treat it is with a surgery. And it's our job to prevent it from getting that bad. That's our job. That's my calling.
Now, with patients, though, they need to talk to their healthcare provider and share with their healthcare provider. Why is sharing their treatment goals with their healthcare provider so important?
Because you know yourself best. You know your body best. You know if you can walk. You know what your difficulties are with walking. You know what your difficulties are with using your hand or even caring for your loved one. And the treatment is very much directed towards someone's level of functioning and caregiving and improving upon that. And the more you can make that clear to your caregiver, the better treatment we can take of you.
What role do caregivers play in the management of post-stroke spasticity?
Caregivers really play an immense role. So first of all, knowing is half the battle. Awareness and advocating for your loved one is huge by going to your specialist who treats this, or your occupational or physical therapist, or your neurologist, or your physiatrist. Spasticity can really impair caregiving for a loved one, make it very difficult, make it more complex, make it more tiring, more fatiguing. And remember, a lot of people with strokes are the elderly, and this can be very difficult for mom or dad to take care of his or her husband or wife, and it's our job to try to make this easier for you.
Are there treatments available that are physical therapy type things? Or are there are there medicine treatments available? What are the treatments available for? What options do they have for this disease?
That's a great question. So the reason why you really want to see an expert who treats this is because the treatment options are really very many, and it depends on the patient's level of functioning, and we really try to tailor it to the individual patient's needs. So it can range from physical and occupational therapy to splinting and bracing to oral medications or to injections into the spastic muscles with certain medications or surgery as well.
If you had to give a bit of advice to our listeners today, if they or they feel a loved one might be experiencing this condition, what would that advice be?
Well, there's a great website that can really educate everybody on what spasticity is and how to treat it. It's called don'ttakespasticity.com. It's all one word. But then the other really important point is get treatment sooner rather than later. We can prevent bad things from happening, but it's very difficult to treat it once it becomes almost too late. So, find a neurologist, find a physiatrist who really specializes in these things in your neck of the woods, and pursue treatment.
Real quick again, give that website again, and if you would, spell the word spasticity so people know what they're looking for.
Absolutely. It's called don'ttakespasticity.com. And spasticity, it's all one word. Spasticity is spelled S-P-A-S-T-I-C-I-T-Y.
We've been talking this morning with Dr. Zachary Bohart. Doctor, thanks so much for taking time out to talk to us about this situation that might affect a lot of people in our area because we have a high retiree area in our area. So thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We'll be back at this short timeout. We're going to talk to General Mark Graham and Miss Carol Graham about the National Memorial Day Concert. We'll talk to them next. It's going to honor the legacy and patriotism of General Colin Powell. We'll talk to them next right here on Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. It says WOCA, the source.
The league's all-time leading rusher without feeling some pain.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith knows joint pain, and he also knows the old treatments aren't the only treatments. Today, there's a natural alternative to drugs and surgery. It's biologic therapies from QC Kinetics.
I'm talking regenerative solutions that encourage your body to heal and repair itself.
Do you have pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, lower back? Want to get your life back? The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics can help.
Call to learn more about this exciting natural way to deal with chronic joint pain.
Don't put it off. Call QC Kinetics. Restorative, regenerative solutions with no downtime and lasting results.
Don't let your joint pain keep you from doing the things you love. There's a new natural solution that patients are raving about.
QC Kinetics.
Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics, 400-4550.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our
celebrating an essential part of the agricultural process. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Farmers, produce safety inspections are here. The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and University of Florida are partnering to provide the produce safety trainings required for farms that grow, harvest, pack, or hold fresh fruits and vegetables. Seating is limited. Make sure you meet the requirements of the Produce Safety Rule and sign up today. Our next training will be held remotely via Zoom June 21st through the 23rd. For more information, visit www.fdacs.gov/FSMA.
If your soil could talk, what would it say? If it's healthy, it may already be saying some good things about your future. Because farmers who use soil health building systems that include no-till, cover crops, and diverse species and rotations report greater productivity, profitability, and resiliency to weather extremes. Learn more about what your soil is saying about its health and your future. Contact your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today. This message brought to you by USDA and this radio station.
Agronomy is defined as the science of soil management and crop production. This week, agronomy is celebrated by DeKalb, Asgrow, and Delta Pine seed brands. Delta Pine brand manager Kevin Levac says it's a week to recognize agronomists and other crop professionals who help farmers get the most from their crops.
All farmers, regardless of the seed brand they plant, we encourage them to participate to show appreciation for their agronomic advisors.
There's special social media interaction this week and a sweepstakes with a special prize.
We're also going to feature a sweepstakes that will enable one winning farmer and up to 3